So now you can open your ZBrush, and the moment you open your ZBrush, if it may show you an interface like this. It's a light box. This is where this is where you take all the models or the templates that you work with. Okay, so you can just click this to close the light box. Since I've exported the file as an OBJ file from Maya, we can go here to the right side of your ZBrush and hit the import tool. So give the location where you saved the file. It's an OBJ file. Just click open, and it would give you a message if there is any error, or if there is any polygon which is not a proper quadrangle. Okay, or if there is any polygon which has some topology issues, such as a non-manifold geometry. Those issues will be shown if your model has any. So here it doesn't show any, so I hope it's fine then. So that's it. Then I just click and drag. Okay, it's appeared. It appeared on the ZBrush now. Once it's done, press T or click the edit mode. So once you click this edit mode, now you could able to rotate your model. So this is your sofa. Okay, but look at this one. It's facing the back side. You see that? Yeah, whereas this is the front side of the ZBrush model, the ZBrush, but it's facing the back side. So I think we could rotate that. We could even rotate the model and do this. Anyway, I just go back to Maya, and I'd like to know what's that. Okay, look at the z-axis is facing that side. So let me select this one and rotate this to the 90°. That would do. Then I could just freeze the transformation. Then go to File again, Export Selection, to OBJ, Export, yes. Now go to ZBrush, disable the edit mode, switch the edit mode. Now press undo. The model will be gone now. Now you can go to your import tool again, then double click. Now you can just click and drag. Yeah, that's it. Press T. Now we switch to your editing mode. That's it. So now yeah, when you look at this, you might notice that see, you might notice there's a problem with this 3D model, which is the pivot point. Look at that. So this pivot point is a little problem with this. That is because from your Maya, look at this pivot point we have here. So let me go to this and hit center point. Okay, that's how it has to be. So this is the center point where we want the model to appear. Okay, so maybe I can just hit a center point here, or I had to move all the objects towards the center point. Let's see. Let me just select the objects here. Okay, I have frozen everything. So let me just move it a little back. Now when you see, yep, it looks fine. Yeah. So again, do the same file, and ensure one more thing. At the front view, the model should be like that. Should be equal from the left side and also from the right side. Look at there. The object is exactly dissected in two parts. On the left side of the grid, you have one portion of the 3D model. The right side of the grid, you have the right portion of the 3D model. So that is how it has to be aligned. Okay, I think that now I could export this. Go to File again, Export Selection, No Poly Sofa, OBJ, ZBrush, disable the edit tool, switch, press Ctrl Z. It's gone now, and import. Click and drag. Yeah, press T. That's it. Now your model might be fine. And if you want to switch to perspective mode, this is a perspective mode like this. Okay, unless you won't get the perspective, you would feel like a orthographical view. If like here, you would feel like an orthographic view. So switch to, click this. Now you get the perspective mode there. So here is a 3D model ready for work. Okay, now the first thing we have to do is we have to increase the polygon for the objects here. So I go to the subtool, and inside the subtool there is a single polygon now. So what if I just scroll down in the subtools and I would like to merge them, or I would like to split them, split to parts, or split to similar parts. So go with the split to parts. It says it's an undoable action, you can't undo it. Great. Now look at here. So this is the sofa. I think when you go to next layer and click this off, you see that? So this is the sofa, and these are the small buttons we have. And just would like to scroll down, and you can see the frame. This is the frame here. And turn off the frame, and you can turn on the frame. Just go to the other layer, then turn off the layer, so you see that. So if you want to turn off a layer, just go to the next layer, then do it. You see that now? 1, 2. So then scroll down again, then we have another sofa here. Okay, great. I just split them into separate layers here, so that will be easy for me to work with. Okay, let's go to this sofa. I can go to the top section of the sofa here. Now you could see. We already UV mapped the entire model, so we don't need to worry about the UV. Now, let me, I think I could go with this shape here. This one. If you're not okay with the lighting, you can change the material. See, you can change the material into something through which you cannot get any lights. See, this you won't get light there. You will get a few reflections here, and you can just change to look at this. So this is a different one where you can't get any much lighting. You can go with that even. So it's up to you. Whichever you feel comfortable, you can go with that. So I think that is fine. Or this is the default one we had. I think I go with I don't want too much. I think is there a blend here? Yes, there's a blend. There's a basic material. Okay, go with the basic material. Now with this layer being selected, okay, ensure you're in this layer. Now you see that? Yeah. Now select this layer. Press Shift F. Press Shift F. Then you can see the details of that. The frames. I mean the poly count of the 3D model. You would see here. Now all you have to do is, if you have a graphic tablet, that will be fine. If you don't have a graphic tablet, for this property model, even without a graphics tablet, you would be able to do with the help of mouse. But when it comes to organic modeling, like character modelings or human or any other modelings, then you need to go with an organic shapes that require you to use a graphic tablet. If you have a Wacom tablet, that would be much convenient. Even XP pen also fine. I had a personal experience with Wacom tablet, so I would suggest you to go with that. You can afford one Wacom tablet for 5K or 5.5. You can get a decent one. Okay, so now this I would like to close the sub tool and go to the expand the geometry section, and you can see the 3D In that you could find a divide option is there. So you can press the divide. So once you press the divide, you would see that it should have some subdivision added. You couldn't see it, so press Shift F again. Then press again. You see that? Yeah, it's already added. So it might be because my system doesn't have a graphics card. It has just onboard graphics card, so it was not updating. Again, press subdivide. Again, Shift F, disable your polyframe and enable again. Now you can see that. Yeah, it's good. Look at this one. There is a really good detail. You can just put the brush and see that. Yup, it's working. Yeah, maybe I can just decrease the brush size. Press S, left click and drag. So that's fine. I can just divide it into one more subdivision. Great. I can press Shift F and come back again. Yeah, you see that? It was also fine. You can press S and drag and increase the brush size. If you want to see the output, Shift F, you could see what you get from this. Okay, how the output would be. Then Control Z. Then Shift F again, so you can see the wireframe. I just click and drag it because the object is tilted to 45 degrees, so I had to tilt it in the interface. I had to tilt the interface so it would match. Okay, it's just if you're familiar with the Maya, the same shortcut keys over here, like Alt, left click. Okay, press Alt, left click, then take your mouse. If you take your hand from the Alt key, that's a zoom in. Again, the same Alt, left click, but if you don't take your hands off from the Alt, it is a panning. Okay, and just left click and drag, that's a rotation. So just left click and drag for rotation. Alt plus left mouse button and drag for panning. Alt plus left mouse button, but take your hands off from the Alt key after you put your mouse. Yeah, now it's a zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so it's just like just a little bit like Maya. Right. Now let me just turn off this one. Shift F, and let me switch to some. It's too dull. I don't see much details there. Yeah, that would do. I could go to my okay. Ensure then the standard brush. By default, the standard brush is on. Even if not, just press B, S, T. So that's the standard brush. Now you can just click and drag here. See? You see that? So that's really good. You can press X on the keyboard, so you'll get in. You could get like this. You see that? Yeah. So from here you can just click and drag, and from here you can just click and drag. Get this, and for some reason I don't think this symmetry is proper here, so I think I better go without symmetry. So I disable X here, and I can just draw. Just click and drag. Just click and drag. Now you could get that. So if you think that your brush is not good, big enough, you can just increase the brush size, then you can draw the line. Look at that. So I think the previous brush was fine. I just press S, I drag it down a little, then I could just draw the line here. And look at that. Just draw the line. and here you can draw the line. I think I could make the brush size a little more down. So press S and reduce the brush size a little. Then let's draw this line here. I think I can reduce the brush size a little. The intensity is Z intensity tells you the how much effect you want for that to happen. Look at that. Okay, so if I just increase this Z intensity from 25 to, let's say, 50, let's look at this. Yeah, you see that? It's like more like an look at that. It's like a little sharp, but you can get the detail perfect there. You can use control right click and you just got to left click, sorry, control right click and drag. Let's zoom out. So look at that now. So look at the detail you can achieve with help of this. So this is one way you could do that. So if you just take some reference images like so there were ways like you could just draw this shape here. Okay, now with this being done, is this how we want? That's what, when you look into the different varieties of sofa, few sofas have the shapes here like this, or there are a few other sofas where the shape would be like hold your, let me just switch to my Z sub now. Now let me just drag it here. If you drag it here, you can see there is a small difference happened there. So look at this. If I just like and drag a shape here, look at the surface happening. What's happening here? So it was too straight. Okay, so this is what's happening here. So if you decrease this to something like this value, then you can just do like this. You can see there the impact it makes. So let me just reduce the brush size a little. And then okay, so it's up to us to identify however we want. Now look at this. So maybe we can have like this, then we can have like here, we can have here, then here. Not only with that, we can just drag from the top also. And similarly from the top here, then to the right, sorry. and for some reason it is we are unable to draw further, so we can just undo this. And what we could do is we can just control shift and click on this object, so so that will be isolated. So I can just um, just wanted to select this object, to control shift and click. Just a minute, I just check why it was not, why am I able to select this? What was up to? Am I in the proper layer? Yes. So I think I should be able to select this. So what if I just control click here? I'll just go with my mouse. Okay, this is a problem. Sometimes we're able to get this. So I think I can just go down and turn off this other subtool visibility. So what if I turn off this one? Yeah, that's fine. I think now I could work with this. So and if you feel any lights are not good, you can press the shift key and you can just you could just fill that area. You can just smoothen it out and then you can draw your line again. So hold the shift key and drag, you could able to smoothen out whatever happened. So then you can just draw the line. So I can just click and go down. Then I can just draw the line there. So similarly, however you wish, you can whichever you want to delete, you can delete that. Then you can draw again. So look at this one. You can hold the shift key to smoothen it out, and when you press, as you could see, my brush is 11. So I think now I just increase the brush size. This is better. Now when I press S and come back to 11, now I can just draw this line again. So similarly, you can just do again. Yes, whichever you think is not good, you can delete them and you can come back and you can redraw them. So those are fine away. So I'm not okay with that, and I'm not okay with this line. Now I press S, I go back to brush 11. Okay. And I think the brush is too okay. Then I can just draw a line here, draw a line here, draw a line here. Okay, we've made this. So is that the end? Is this now is this done? No. When you look there will be few changes will be there in there will be few changes in other sofas. I will also show that changes what are you can find in other sofas, like what are the details that it have. So here what I could do is I could just it's a standard tool, so you can just use this tool to, by when you click it will be expand. Look at this. If I click add and if I click and drag, you could see it's creating a shape. So with the help of that, you can emboss, you can make any area to be embossed or extruded kind of structure. Okay, and Now I would like to uh, go to my geometry. Let's press Shift F and C. Okay, the geometry is already fine. I think I don't need to go with another subdivision, but if you wish, you can just click the subdivide. Now you could see you will get a smooth shade where whatever we did, but I think we don't need it. So just go back to subdivision 4. At any point of time, you can just switch back to subdivision, the low subdivision we had. This is lower subdivision, and this is the highest subdivision we had, level we have. And I think it's better that I would save my file. So the better way to save this is I can just go to my save as, and since it's saved in a TL format. Once you save, you can load it. You don't need to import again. You can just load the tool. Okay, so that's fine. Now let me just go again and just left click and drag. Okay, now it's fine. Now you can either use this brush or you can go with your Z-sub. Now you could see that if you want to create some shapes like that, so you could create with the help of this. You see that? So that's one way of doing things. And there are other brushes that would help you. Instead of this, we can go with the damp standard like BDS. BDS is for damp standard brush. So it would help you in create such sharp lines. Look at that. So so it would give you a feel like there were a few wrinkles here and there. And if you're not okay with this, there is also a few other brushes that we could go with this. I'm just showing you which brush would help you mostly. So I think this damp standard also a good brush. I press S and increase this a little bit, maybe 14 or something. Then okay, no, it's too big. Over that, so it would give you like a wrinkle effect. Okay, and also there were a few other brushes which could do the similar thing. I think I could go with the slash. So BS is my slash go slash brush here. No, it's not there. We have a we don't have slash here. So let me go to my light box, then let me select the brush, then just go to the S section. There we have a slash, and there you have a /1 /2. So you can create /2. I think this is really a good brush through which you could get the shape there. So I can just click Z-sub and maybe I can increase the brush size a little bit. I think I had to switch to /1. Let me see what effect I get here. Let me increase the brush size and the intensity to 20. Yeah, this is quite fun. So now you could see. Let me decrease the brush size. Yeah, look at that. So that's really great and good effect. Look at that. It looks as if a real wrinkle, and it's just inside. So this is a really cool effect. And after that, just press hold the shift key and on the edge make it soft. So now look at this, you get the effect. So that's a really cool effect you could get. Now So the one good thing with ZBrush brushes, or you can exactly get the details. So however you wish, you can get the details there. So maybe I just hold the shift key, then let's not push too much there. Let's not makes these effects too much embossed on the 3 mode. So that's one thing. Similarly, now we have to do for the rest of the areas of the brush. That just a small thing will be fine. And the reason why I like this brush when it comes to creating such wrinkles, because when you go inside, you can see there, it looks as if few areas, few of the cloth is, few of this texture, the material is gone inside and create, and few of the other uh, material came above it. So that's how a wrinkle has to be, right? So, some part has to go inside, some part has to come outside. So that's how it has to be done. So hold the control right click and drag. Great. Then do not forget, hold the shift and smoothen this out at the edge, because it should not be sharp at the edge. It has to be realistic, right? So you should hold the shift and sharpen it at the edges. That's more important. Okay. And don't worry about this line. If required, we can draw that shape again. And let that be. If you have a vacuum, this will be, the process will be easier. And I think this is the only thing we do it with help of Zbrush. So when you can just add details for the sofa, you can't add too much of details for the sofa, because when it comes to the sofa, you'll be having only changes here. You need to add details here because it's a leather sofa, right? So the changes will be only in this part. So you don't need to work too much if you don't have a. You don't need to worry too much if you don't have a vacuum. Now look at this. I'm just holding the shift key, then I just smooth these areas. Smoothen here, and smooth there at the top. It's really a good brush. What if I use the same brush here? Look, that's really cool. Yeah, and I think I could just reduce the intensity a little bit. Let me try with this brush. Yeah, that really creates an impact on your 3D model. Look at that, like a real leather effect you could get there. The only problem is it would just make one area top on the other. So that's a only thing we have here. So if you go further, you could see one area is on the top of other. So if we just click and drag, yeah. So and in few of the sofas, you could feel instead of this, uh, instead of making this go inside, in few of the sofas, you would see they would be embossed. The areas are a little embossed in few of the sofas, not like this. Instead of instead of this one in few sofas, they would made an add. There'll be some add Z add tool be there, like yeah. The problem with this is you have to make this. You have to comfort with your tablets in order to create such straight lines or arc or anything. If you might be familiar with your pencils, but it would take some time to comfort with your tablets. So I don't need anything too much there. So it's fine. Then and similarly we need to create a similar fit for the model there. And if I switch this to a brush called inset, so I inflat. It's an inflat brush where you would create an effect like this. Look at that. So you can use this brush to create some effects at the corner. So maybe if you select here, if you just go here and on the corner, if you could just make this, it will create an inflat effect. Okay. So that's a kind of effect you can create with the help of this. And if you need, let me just show an example here. Look at this one. If you just create it, you see that? So that's an effect you could create with the help of this. So in most of the sofas at the corner end, you could have noticed an effect like this. So we could create with the help of this, and I can just decrease the brush size. Then I could just draw one line here. Let me just so that's really good. Maybe we could just okay, you can use this brush to create that structure. And also we have another brush called pinch brush, maybe a pinch brush. So what it would do is if you just click and drag, it would create a pinch effect, like making that area to be making an area to be a sharp edge that it would create. You look at that. If there is a sharp area, it would make it much more sharper. So that's what a pinch brush would do. So if you have any sharp area, you can click and drag. Now you could see it is making this a little extra sharp. And I could see there it's a little sharp, it's created. So pinch brush is a little good with that. So when you want to create the shape, or when you want to create the corner, you could just use this. Similarly, there were other brushes which if you compare with videos, if you want to make it sharper, it's more sharp. If you don't want, you can just hold the shift key, just like other tools, then you can just make this a soft one. Okay. And on the edge, if we had to create a shape, an extra shape, we could create that also. Maybe if you want to surround this with VIN in flat, you look at that. I can just decrease the brush size, and instead of this intensity like this, I switch to 50. Then you can just draw a line here throughout your 3D model, so you'll get a feel as if like a real sofa it is. So look at this one. If I just click and drag here, then if I click and drag on the surface of here, yeah, you see that. So that's the kind of effect you can get with the help of this in flat. I just undo this. And if you need to pull this up a little more, I mean there's spots, then you can just go to your standard brush, BST, then increase the brush size like this. Now you can just click, you could get that. So if I just click Z add, and if I increase the brush size a little more, if you click, you see that you can just bring the shape up. So this will also help you in creating the shape better. So undo, 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 undo. I don't want too much there, so let me just now you could see it's embossed. And if you want too much, you can just pump it again. The more you draw, the more it will just bring up. Okay, so it's up to you to find out how much of it you want. Then with this being done, you had to do the same for the geometry, which is at the bottom. I think I can go to the subtool and enable that. I go to my subtools, then I turn on this layer. Yeah, then I select this layer. Then it's now we have to go to this layer and let's select this layer. Again, the same for this layer, like what we did there. Yeah, when you try to rotate, if you're unable to make this snap like an exact top view or exact something called the shift and left click and drag, yeah, now it's fine. I can just go to my geometry. Let's go to geometry, click this again and press shift F before that, so you would know whether it is highlighted or not. It's divide, divide and divide, because we were working on subdivision 4 for this model, this page, so let's go and work with the same thing, and it's not updated because shift F, disable and enable again. Okay, it's really good now. So maybe we could just press shift F to disable it, then we can make our changes like we did. So we take the brush like a BDS, damp standard brush, and I think we were working with this light brush, right? So let's go with this slash brush. So again, go to your so where is my brush here? So when you click here, double click here, you can see, you can get the brushes which you use as often. So this is my slash 2 brush. I can just select this brush, then that would help. So I double click, right? And the brush size I had to reduce to something like 9 or 11. So then maybe we can just better draw the line there first. And the intensity that I should change, let's increase the brush size a little. I think I had to make it much more softer, maybe 43, that would work. Yeah, like this. This is fine. Let me just draw the line. Yeah, we were using dam standard to draw this line, so it's your wish. If you wish, you can go and work with the dam standard. You can create the same line. And here I just hold the shift key, and I would like to draw this again. So do the same here, then the same here. Guys, since we already worked upon this, I don't want to drag it much further, so below that I just then if you feel it's too much, by any point of time you can just you can make it, you can take the shift 2 and you can do that. And look at that. Okay, and now I could just take my brush, I could just reduce the brush size a little. Then I could just draw the shape here. Maybe reduce the brush size a little more. So we added the detail for these objects now. And if you want, you can use the pinch brush. Maybe you can just select this, and I could use the pinch. Yeah, double click here. Now with this pinch brush being selected, I can increase the brush size. Then if you just click and drag, you see that now it wasn't there. Now it made it much more sharper. Yeah, that was a clean one there. And I think I could just do the same here. You see that? Yeah, it's much more sharp. It just made this area short by making this areas to be flat. So I just press shift and make those areas smoothened out, so they'll be flattened now. That's it. So that's a really cool shape. And it's purely you had to try to match with your 3D model with the with what output they have given with you. So it's purely up to you. And if you want this area, any area to be built up, then you could use the standard brush to BST. Then you can just click and drag. Then you can just click and make those areas bigger. So maybe if you wish to increase the intensity, and if you just drag, you see that you can just bring the shape up. So if you just click and drag any area, it would make it bigger. Okay, so don't sort of worry too much about it. Let's bring it to 30. So let's add little birds here and there. And lower the shape. So it's like really a bunch if it is there. And if you look into few sofas, there will be changes. Like let me just go to my so if I go to my on scatter rendering, and if you just open my file, yeah, now here you could see there'll be speed changes. There were some references that I have added with this. I'm just waiting for the reference to be loaded. Is that loaded? Yep, I could just go there. Now look at here. So in this here it was like see, only small effect was there, but when we just move this to a sofa like this, look at that. So now you would know why we're creating this effect. And here, if you notice, this detail you can achieve by using Z add, because the lines which we drawn here was we were making a dent by Z sub, but when you switch to Z add, you could achieve this detail. So that's also an easy one that you could achieve with the help of it. So that's it. So similarly, look at here, this shape here. So this was really a cool one. You can achieve this shape. After you create this, you got to use an inflat to create this shape. This line, inflat, by using inflat you could do, or you can just reduce the brush in a standard brush. You take a standard brush, reduce the brush size, go with the Z add. You can also achieve this shape with the help of that. So similarly, if you go with any shapes, you can achieve with the help of the brushes which we discussed. So we'll just minimize it. So that's it. So, and if you think for some reason you want to move this, maybe you can press B and V. Then you can just select and move however you wish. For example, I can reduce the brush size. Then I can just select and move this. You see that? I could select and move this. So that would also work. Just a minute. Yeah, that would also work. So if I just select this one, right click, No. I just want to show you that how the move brush would work. So you can select any area, and if you want to move, you can just move as like top, bottom, or wherever you want. You can just move that. It will also give you a real effect, like look at the wrinkles. That will also work very good.